understand everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system. I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread is his kiss, his hugs, his lips, his touch. And I just want the whole world to know about my black brother. I love you, and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever.
KBLA Talk 1580. Yeah, paying tribute to Angie Stone, who made her transition after getting in a car accident on the way to a show. And Tavis Smiley has an interview with her, his last interview with her, that he'll share during his show. I can't wait to hear that. I met Miss Stone a number of times at summer jams and various concerts. But I do not have a sit-down interview with her, just those in passing, get a comment here, comment there type of interviews. And I'm really looking forward to hearing Tavis's conversation with this woman, of whom I am a huge fan. Being joined now by Professor James Simmons. He's an attorney with the Community Law Office of James M. Simmons, a professor of Africana Studies at Cal State Northridge and the People's College of Law, and a teacher at Centro Esportivo de Capoeira, Angola, in Los Angeles. Good morning, Professor Simmons.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed. Great to hear your voice. Welcome.
Thank you. And James is good.
Okay, I got you. Well, you know, today is the anniversary of the actual beating of Rodney King. And many times what we commemorate is the uprising or civil unrest of April 29th, but we forget about what led to it. And it seems more important than ever to look at that moment and what came from it, given where we are at this particular moment in time with this administration that we have in the White House. Do you agree?
I agree. Sometimes we have to look at not only that spark that lit the fuse. We also have to look at the history. So we don't just look at the rebellion of 1992. We look at what caused the rebellion, which was the torturous beating of Rodney King and the murder of Latasha Harlins. And further back than that, there's just been a long history of criminal acts and abusive policies of the Los Angeles Police Department and other law enforcement agencies in the area.
And for those who are not listening from LA, they're listening all over the country. Latasha Harlins was a child who went into a store to buy some juice and was killed with money in her hand to pay for said juice because the shopkeeper assumed she was going to steal it.
Right.
And of course, that was a flashpoint for our community in just the fact that the racism and profiling that are so constant for black children, black people in general, and black children here in Los Angeles and across the country.
Well, and not just the profiling of the killer, who Shunja Liu, but the profiling done by the judge, who apparently thought it was understandable to a certain extent to kill this 15-year-old who was holding juice and the money in her hand, and that it was almost reasonable to shoot her in the head as she was walking away from this altercation. and gave this Sunjadu, the killer, no jail time. Which infuriated people. The fury that accompanied the acquittal of the police officers the 4 police officers who were on trial for beating and torturing Rodney King, just set it all the way off. So the idea that again we can look, we have to look at what happened to Rodney King, but we also have to look at this larger context, because Los Angeles Police Department and the Sheriff's Department and other police agencies, Black people have a very poor relation with police, and not through the efforts of the Black community, but through the actions of the police. Police assassinating civil rights leaders, working with the Ku Klux Klan, implementing policies that cause mass incarceration, and again, going beyond the police to the legislative bodies, whether they be local or national, to the executives, from the president on down. This is it's more complicated than just that, one or two instances. It is a systemic thing.
Well, we know, not just from hip hop lyrics, from our lives, right, that Rodney King's beating was not really an anomaly. It wasn't unusual. It was kind of what was happening, and in many cases continues to happen. But do you think that moment in history did change, or was the beginning of change of how we perceive the way police deal with Black people by the broader society?
By the broader society, I think they actually got a glimpse of what Black people and some other people have known for as long as we've been in this country, that law enforcement is enforcement of laws for the benefit of others, not to protect and to serve the people, Black people. It is, what it was that what's his name, George Holloway, happened to record this beating in San Fernando Valley, Pacoima, I think, and people were shocked. Kind of like people were shocked when there was the 9-minute torture with death of George Floyd. Well, why would it be a shock? We've already seen Rodney King. We've already seen these other crimes that have been committed. We saw what happened with the torture and murder of the civil rights workers or near Philadelphia, Mississippi in 1963. This is all old news, but it keeps being a shock because America apparently continues to not deny racism. To the point where they want to outlaw Black history, where they want to, which has pretty much been effective in several states now, where they want to close their eyes to discrimination and racism, to police crimes, or in fact encourage police crimes. So like the current regime, it's hard to call it an administration when they're dismantling everything. But the president of these United States wants to, or has encouraged brutality. So we just need one good day. We just need one good day of violence, and we'll set them all straight.
And that was before the election. Now we're leveling up to another, I think, kind of, philosophy, if you want to call it that, or advocacy for total immunity, which is what the president said he was going to do. And I don't think people really believed him. But where we're going now is, I think, it feels like where we haven't been before.
Yeah, well, and that's true. As a whole, the country has not been there. But again, for the black community, for black people, this has largely been true. The Christopher Commission that came out after the incident with the LAPD and Rodney King said that this is a problem of police officers feeling and at some point actually having impunity, being without consequence, committing crimes against people without consequence. And often we say police brutality, but they are crimes. They're not just some kind of a special civil act. They're crimes, and we should call them that. They're not just police killings; they're murders. They're not just beatings; they're torture. And there's this long history of using torture against the people. Again, not just black people, but certainly black people are first amongst victims.
That's well said. We're talking with Attorney James Simmons. A lot to cover here. I want to look at how not just qualified immunity, but expansions of immunity are on the table under this administration. I want to look at attacks on our system of government. Are we, in fact, in the middle of a coup? Are we already in a dictatorship, as some have argued? And by some, I might mean me. All that and more when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Taxes was feeling so stuck. Sitting in traffic, squeezing into a parking spot, all to squeeze in getting tax help during your lunch break. Now Taxes is a TurboTax expert who does your taxes for you, while you go about your day getting real-time notifications about their progress and the most money back guaranteed. Now this is Taxes. Intuit TurboTax. Get an expert now on TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax Live Full Service. Real-time updates only in iOS mobile apps. See guarantee details at TurboTax.com/guarantees.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Febreze. As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze car vent clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings, because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up Oscar!
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight, like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance, so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300. 888-300.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
I do appreciate you. We're talking with attorney James Simmons, also Professor James Simmons. I always reflect on these kinds of anniversaries on my interview with Rodney King. It's actually up on my YouTube if you want to see it. DiPrima Radio, DiPrima Radio, along with a lot of other stuff. Just because the gravity, the weight that he carried on his psyche. He talked about being stopped and hunted, and basically how this particular incident and the high level of public engagement with it had, not to mention his physical injuries, had really changed his life. And even though his cause of death was drowning, it felt like it was drowning in injustice, because he was an active and skillful swimmer. And I feel, just from my own, I'm not a shrink or anything, but just from my conversation with him, I felt like he was battling demons from that incident for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I think that would have to be true. The post-traumatic stress syndrome is recognizable. It's a real thing. A lot of people suffer from it, and if you have been tortured on television, and it's shown to you again and again, when he was pleading with people to stop the rebellion, and was talking about the people who were crying. It was he was crying. The people who were dying. It was even without knowing him, it's like, whoa, he is suffering. He was suffering, and to have to bear that weight from the time he was tortured by the LAPD until the time he died, it's no wonder he struggled with that.
Yeah,
for his life,
State of Alabama is working on passing a bill that would expand police immunity. Now, to be clear, police already have this thing called qualified immunity, which is a legal doctrine that protects police, a made-up legal doctrine that protects police and some other public officials from the kind of accountability that most of us would have. In Alabama, they want to expand that police immunity, and in other words, to make it where if they're using what we call excessive force, as long as it's not seen to be violating their constitutional rights, they're immune. They also want to expand it to corrections officers, tactical medics, and health personnel who work with cops. Maybe, that's in response to the Elijah McClain situation, but this seems like it could be a template for what the president has talked about doing federally.
Yeah, and as we have observed, if we're paying attention, there has been a shift to extreme authoritarianism.
Yeah.
And we have, again, experienced this already as Black people, where are we moving to a dictatorship? And I think there has been a dictatorship of the majority. The wants, needs, and desires of people have been overridden by those who the group that see an interest in maintaining majority, even the majority is slipping. And I'm talking about whites. I'm not only talking about the Republican Party, but the Republican Party is has taken on the job of trying to maintain some kind of white supremacy. And if that means throwing away democracy, so be it. And it's throwing away democracy for everybody, not just a small group or a so-called minority, but it's throwing away democracy for everyone.
But do you think it's
election?
I mean, we talked about this last hour. Is it a class war? Is it strictly, the lie of white supremacy? Or is it, as I was articulating, a lecture I saw where the speaker defined it as oligarch, the Republican Party being the oligarchs and the Democratic Party being the corporatists. And so the oligarchs just want to break everything so they can privatize it and maximize their profit, which also involves trampling your rights and ending your protections, i.e., OSHA and those agencies that are meant to stop us from being poisoned by the air and food and water. So do you see it as strictly along, the lie of white supremacy? Is it a class situation, or is it a profiteering agenda?
Well, I definitely see it as profiteering, but the president and his cronies, his lackeys, his bootlickers have shown themselves to be either ideologically white nationalist or practical white nationalist. And again, this isn't anything new. This goes back to Thomas Jefferson. This goes back to Abraham Lincoln. It goes back to the framers of the Constitution who wanted to have establish a white republic, and there had to be adjustments along the way. But Abraham Lincoln said, if we're going to have these black people free, and we're in a situation where somebody's going to rule, it has to be whites. Thomas Jefferson said blacks needed to be removed. And it's not just some outlier from those times, saying that these are some of the most outstanding leaders that this country has produced. We talk about Jeffersonian democracy being spread around the world. Well, that at least in this case was founded in white supremacy, white male supremacy. And you see in J.D. Vance and others just a reincarnation of the white supremacist and male supremacist thought from the 1700s and 1800s, and not ashamed to say it.
So if it's not anything new, then why is it so alarming, and why does it feel like it is a coup where we are now? I mean, I feel like the corporatist agenda has always been there. The lie of white supremacy has been there since the founding of this country. When Jefferson, said that, we actually had, enslavement was legal. He was, making babies with forcing his slaves to make babies. Now we're supposedly free. We supposedly have a democratic republic, and yet the executive branch is consolidating power in a way that feels like we're already in a dictatorship. They've usurped the power of the purse. He has control of the Supreme Court, or extreme court, as my dad used to call it. He has a slim but lockstep margin in Congress in both houses. I haven't seen one person even challenging Kash Patel. I mean, that is just like, what? Are you kidding me? They are like zombies right now. And right. It does, even if you can see that they won the election, which I'm not 100% sure that I do, but even if you do, for the sake of, being fact-based, evidence-based, I should say, I don't think anybody voted to change the system of government that we have, and it appears that we are, because if there are no checks and balances, if Congress can do nothing but knock on a door and say, please let us into the Department of Education or we're going to send you a letter, if the executive branch can just wipe out financial commitments that have been made by the Congress, which is supposed to have the power of the purse, doesn't that mean we're already in an authoritarian dictatorship? And why is that? We've only got a minute here. We'll talk more about it after news, traffic, and sports. But why is that the same as Thomas Jefferson? You know what I mean? Because at least there was some norms.
Well, it's just that I believe it's not quite a dictatorship yet, because those other branches of government that should be supplying the checks and balances are going along with it. They're just bowing and scraping and doing as he wishes, like this extreme court, making shocking rulings. But other courts saying, no, this is wrong, and trying to slow down the train of destruction of democracy.
Yeah, well, we've got news, traffic, and sports, and we'll discuss on the other side. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump signed an executive order making English the official U.S. language, ending a nearly 250-year history without one. Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., once a vaccine skeptic, urged measles vaccinations. In a Fox News Sunday opinion piece, Black communities often face health care access disparities, leading to lower vaccination rates and higher outbreak susceptibility. Volkswagen is recalling over 60,000 U.S. cars due to a faulty gear shift indicator that could cause rollaways if the parking brake is disengaged. The recall affects certain 2021 to 2023 Volkswagen models and 2022 and 2023 Audi Q4 e-tron sportsback cars. And Hollywood's biggest night is in the books. Paul Tazewell is the first black man to win an Oscar for Best Costume Design for his work on Wicked. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You asked for it. 9 new dates added. You won't want to miss. For the Record presents Tarantino Pulp Rock, the immersive live experience that will blow you away. Come kill it with us. Ends April 6th, only at the Cinevita, next to SoFi Stadium. Get your tickets now.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers' winning streak is now at 6. Last night's 108-102 win over the Clippers at Crypto.com moved the Lakers into second place in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City is on top in the West, 10 games ahead of the surging Lakers. The Lakers' 18-4 record is the best in the NBA over the past 6 weeks. Luka Doncic led the Lakers last night with 29 points and 9 assists. Rookie forward Dalton Knecht dropped 19 off the bench. The Lakers are back in action Tuesday night against New Orleans. The Clippers are at Phoenix on Tuesday. R&B singer Angie Stone was on her way to perform at the CIAA Men's Basketball Championship game Saturday night in Baltimore. Stone died early Saturday morning in a car crash outside of Montgomery, Alabama. The CIAA is made up of HBCU schools. Virginia State defeated Bluefield State 71-64 to earn the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Fatherhood includes being present during pregnancy and beyond, supporting your partner, advocating for your baby, and ensuring a healthy birth. Black fathers play a key role in reducing maternal and infant health disparities, and your involvement starts during pregnancy. Join the free AIM Fatherhood program today and learn how to support your partner, advocate for your baby's health, and connect with other fathers committed to healthier births. Visit blackinfantsandfamilies.org/fatherhood to get started.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our Timeshare Exit Information Kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-511-2112. That's 800-511-2112. 800-511-2112.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. They have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Find a righteous rage and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And we're talking this morning with Professor James Simmons, Attorney James Simmons, a.k.a. James. And I got so many questions. You said you don't think we're all the way there yet in authoritarianism, in dictatorship, because those branches of government that could provide checks and balances still have the ability, but they're just not doing it. That, of course, would be the legislative branch, the Congress, and the courts. Well, the courts, the administration seems to be ignoring, and the legislative branch, I feel like maybe I'm missing something, but I feel like we've been exposed to the fact that they really don't have any means of enforcement for what they have mandated or legislated. They say, okay, this money is going to USAID. Okay, this money is going to the Department of Education. But if Elon Musk and Doge, who is unelected, just cut it, then Congress people are left to timidly try to knock on the door and get into buildings and timidly try to, with no enforcement arm. That's what makes it seem like we're in a dictatorship to me. It's like Congress has no enforcement abilities and they're ignoring the courts.
Right, and the courts have no enforcement ability either, except through the executive branch. The U.S. Marshals, that's the executive branch. The FBI, the LAPD, that's the executive branch of government.
So really, it's all, I mean, in a sense, checks and balances are an illusion if the other co-equal branches of government do not have any ability to enforce their will.
Yeah, and that's the way it has been. And I think it's, I think you're right. I think we're headed into that direction. If people just keep giving the chief executive what he wants without regard to good sense and the Constitution. But I think we need to see it needs to play out a little more before I say it's a dictatorship.
Gotcha. I love your non-alarmist approach, but I mean, I appreciate it. I want to hear that, but it's not what I feel like I'm seeing with my eyes. However, I mean, supposedly Democrats could say we're going to vote no on everything from now on forevermore until you do the following. That would be some measure of power. I don't see them flexing that. Republicans clearly are rolling over and not even protecting their best interests, because you've got people in these constituents in their town hall meetings cussing them out angry because of the way these things are already impacting them, and they're not even standing up against that.
Yeah, well, just as the president has betrayed anyone who acts against his interest or even his perceived interest, his perceived desires, he will betray them. I think these Republicans in Congress will, when it finally comes down to obeying master or getting reelected or finding some grain of respectability that they have left, that they would also abandon the chief executive, because it's and it has happened slowly, like a drip. There's Cheney, and then Adam Kinsley, and you just have one or two, and some of the stuff is so shocking. You would hope that it would shock them awake. I don't have that much faith that I think it's going to happen. It may happen.
If they will confirm Kash Patel as FBI director, I don't know what can shock them awake. I mean, that to me is just like, what? R.F. Kennedy is the freaking HHS secretary? Well, help me get my mind right. I mean, that is just what? And now Elon Musk says he tweeted that the U.S. should leave NATO and the UN. And it seems like whatever he tweets, Trump does. What do you say about that?
Well, hey, I don't know. Is Trump suffering from? Does he see Elon Musk as smarter or a useful tool? I don't know what the deal is. It doesn't none of this makes sense other than if he's going to make a lot more money. Elon Musk has something dangling over his head, like millions of dollars. He's going to bail him out. He's going to make him you make me co-president, and I'll make you richest man in the world. Is he going to profit off of it? I don't know. I don't pretend to know, but Trump is definitely a betrayer, and should it get too hot for him, he will dump Elon Musk. Elon Musk may try to depose Trump. Getting out of this is like whatever this country has built up since 1945 is going down the tubes, is going down the drain, and you want to see the destruction of worldwide white supremacy, and led by the United States, which they call the free world. But do we want to see it go like that? And what does it mean?
What does it mean? What was your reaction when you saw Donald Trump and J.D. Vance piling on the Ukrainian president in front of the cameras? I thought, what snowflakes? These are the most fragile egos. They can't take criticism. They want to be the big boss. Again, they were treating him like a colored boy who dare speak back. Who dare speak back to the white man? It's like he didn't crumple. They wanted him to crumple his hat and look at the ground and fidget and talk. Oh, thank you, sir. Oh no, you didn't even. What kind of that was a ridiculous display. That was shameless. It was utterly shameless. I mean, the fact that they feel, and the Republicans are demanding that he step down. That's their country. Like, you don't get to say if their president should step down. Now, of course, the minerals that they are wanting to get from Ukraine are the same minerals that Elon Musk needs to make his cars. You don't see a dot to follow there, a line, a line of continuity. It seems like many of the departments that are getting taken down, and these strong arm tactics that are being used internationally have to do with the business interests of Elon Musk, and I guess that means the business interests of Trump as well.
Well, when you create AI-generated scenes of Gaza being a heathenist paradise with gold statues of Donald Trump, the balloons, Donald Trump balloons, the suffering and the genocide that they're going through now, and who cares? Why would you want to stay there? Why would you want to stay in this place? It's I can't say it, but it's that kind of a country, S-hole country. And I'm going to make it better, and you'll live somewhere else, and you'll live good, because I know you don't want to live there. This is some of the most ridiculous arrogance. And what do you call it? Not only can he not read the room, he can't read the world.
It's also illegal. I mean, by every international standard, you just can't just go and take someone's country. Oh, well, Netanyahu gave me Gaza. Wait, what? He doesn't. What? That's supposed to be a sovereign nation. Again, all of these, and I know we've done regime change before as a nation. I know we have expanded, had imperial expansion and taken other people's stuff. That's not new, but it's so blatant. Like you said, and here's pictures, golden statues of me looking like, that put other world dictators to shame in terms of the grandiosity and ridiculousness of it.
Yeah, and what would your father call it? Imperialism. It's just imperialism, plain and simple. And maybe people don't understand imperialism now because we haven't talked about it so much. But the hypocrisy, as Malcolm X said, disguised democracy, disguised hypocrisy. Gil Scott-Heron said the international Jekyll and Hyde, the land of 1,000 disguises, sneaks up but rarely surprises. This kind of activity has been going on. You look at Congo, who's been a nation that has been suffering for almost 200 years under imperialism, where millions of people have died in the 1800s, in the 1900s, now the 2000s, over the lust for its mineral wealth. For such a poor country, they sure don't mind expending lives and treasure over it.
Well, so what you're saying is they're treating Ukraine like it was an African country and treating Zelensky like he was a black child. We're talking with attorney James Simmons. We'll continue the conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply or play stop, opt out. Individual results may vary. Consult a doctor prior to use.
If you've struggled to lose weight in the past, this important message is for you because you could lose as much as 50 pounds or more with Zelfie. Zelfie makes it easy and affordable to get weight loss treatment 100% online. Zelfie providers can prescribe FDA-approved GLP-1 weight loss medications clinically shown to help people lose weight like Wegovy, Zepbound, and others. Plus, help get the medication covered by insurance so it's as little as $0 a month.
The doctors are super helpful, and the meds have been a game changer. It's the first program I've had success with.
Before Zelfie, I was unable to lose weight, even though I was eating healthy and exercising 6 days a week. Zelfie helped me not only lose weight, but I feel so much better.
Text GOAL to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie and see if weight loss medications like Wegovy or Zepbound are right for you. Don't wait. Text now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GOAL to 200-300. That's GOAL to 200-300. GOAL to 200-300.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Talking with attorney James Simmons, a.k.a. Professor James Simmons. Just to circle back for a quick second to where we started with Rodney King, I did not realize that Milton Grimes, who represented Rodney King in the civil suit and won $3.8 million for him, had been sentenced this month to 18 months in prison for tax evasion. That happened a couple weeks ago, and somehow I missed that story. They're saying he hid his money and hid it from the IRS, and he's paying a big price there. Just so much going on right now. I guess it's easy to miss things happening anywhere with all that's going on nationally and internationally, as we've been discussing.
Yeah, say flooding the zone, as they say.
Yeah, flooding the zone so that we can't keep track of everything. Let's go to Daryl calling us from L.A. Good morning, Daryl.
Thanks. Good morning. Good morning, Dominique. It's been bugging about what Trump is doing, and we're watching it in real time. I believe this is the first request that I hear Putin. And Putin is
okay. Your phone sounds crazy, Daryl. I don't know if you could turn down the radio or switch to the other phone or whatever. It sounds really crazy. It sounds like you're making a point about Putin, and that's part of what feels so different, right? What's going on now with Pete Hegseth saying he's going to stop monitoring cyber operations. He's going to stop cyber operations against Russia, and Trump and Vance seemingly taking Putin's side publicly against Zelensky. It seems like a realignment. I'm not sure if that's what you were getting to, Daryl.
That's exactly what I was getting to, but that's not the end of it. I think what happened last Friday was the initiation of Trump's pledge to do whatever Vladimir Putin wants him to do. That wasn't for us. It was for the world to see, of course, but it was his proof that he will do whatever Vladimir tells him to do. And I think that's why his cabinet is these are a bunch of misfits.
Okay, and before I forget, let's connect the dots that Wasn't Zelensky president when Trump tried to get him to dish dirt on Biden that didn't exist, and Zelensky refused, and now he's getting payback in a big way. I don't know. What do you say about that, Professor?
Yeah, I mean, this. I don't think it's the initiation. I think this is the continuation. Like you said, this goes way. It goes way back. It goes back to what do you say? Russia, and there was nothing there. Well, there was something there, and it's just that the Congress, dominated by Republicans, refused to do anything about it. So no, there's nothing new.
to Trump Tower, Trump Moscow, and even who knows what else that transpired before that. But yeah, it's a great point. Daryl, did you want to land?
Yes, Zelensky last Friday, when he says you're elevating your voices but not your logic, I almost died. Okay, you guys have a good day.
Yeah, but he's in a bind. He can't, he's got to kiss the ring, right? I mean, otherwise, and give up his minerals and whatever else. Otherwise, they're not necessarily going to be protected, even if they do all of that, because it seems pretty vague, the guarantees that the White House is willing to give them.
Well, this president is a liar and a betrayer. I mean, would you trust him if he said, "Oh, I got you"?
Not at all. No,
not at all. And I want to see the video that Putin has on Trump. I mean, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
whatever it is, or what contract that he's holding in abeyance until he's satisfied. Trump is a reliable partner. So there's got to be something.
So what about the Elon Musk piece? I mean, I know there's protests. The mainstream media is not really reporting them. They're taking place at Tesla dealerships, in front of SpaceX, at Republican town halls. How is that not illegal? The guy has not been elected. He's not officially, so they're saying he's not even running the Doge agency, even though clearly he is. How is that legal?
Well, they announced somebody is the head of Doge, and she's on vacation. Like, huh? What?
Right, exactly. Going, yeah, that's right. I am the head of Doge. Now that you mention it, yeah.
Yes, but how is it legal? Well, if it's illegal, they're shrouding it in some kind. If it's illegal, they're shrouding it in some kind of legal cover, and they're going to act until they're stopped, and they're going to be stopped by Congress or the courts, or there's going to be some kind of rebellion within the executive branch. But it's what we do know about Donald J. Trump is that he will go as far as he can, and he will lie as much as he can until he's caught and called on it.
And then he'll keep lying because no one seems to stop him. I mean, they've already convinced their base that the UN and NATO are the enemy, but I do think something is going to happen to change things, because people are starting to feel that pain that Musk warned about. We've got about a minute here, Professor. What should Democrats be doing? What should we, the public, be doing? It seems like we're watching, and folks are in many ways immobilized.
Yeah, well, I can't tell the Democrats what to do. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not with either of these parties, but what I would tell the people to do, what I would suggest that the people do, is to act in their best interest. And following a liar who is the head of that they could be the Trump administration or regime can be what do you call it, indicted as a criminal conspiracy. I mean, you have a bunch of criminals who have been pardoned, who have committed acts that would be unthinkable for people in the executive up to now, except for, at least up to Nixon. So I would suggest that people believe their eyes, believe their ears, don't believe the lies, and act. Not just talk about it, but act.
What party are you with?
Agitate, educate, and organize.
What party are you with? Do you want to share?
No party.
No party. Okay, no party preference. Hey, I might be headed there. Professor James Simmons, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to end with a Thurgood Marshall quote. It seems appropriate. He says, "Where you see wrong, inequality, or justice, speak out, because this is your country. This is your democracy. Make it, protect it, pass it on." Tavis Smiley's on deck. He's got a great show, a Monday morning and afternoon full of knowledge and scholarship for you today. Don't forget to tap in with me on all the social media. We're at KBLA 1580 on every platform. Love to hear from you there. I am at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA, and then radio on every platform, including Fanbase and Blue Sky and YouTube. Please follow, like, subscribe, or comment. Like my mama used to say, history is now, and we are making it together. Until tomorrow, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump signed an executive order making English the official U.S. language, ending a nearly 250-year history without one. Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert F. Kennedy Jr., once a vaccine skeptic, urged measles vaccinations. In a Fox News Sunday opinion piece, Black communities often face health care access disparities, leading to lower vaccination rates and higher outbreak susceptibility. Volkswagen is recalling over 60,000 U.S. cars due to a faulty gear shift indicator that could cause rollaways if the parking brake is disengaged. The recall affects certain 2021 to 2023 Volkswagen models in 2022 and 2023 Audi Q4 e-tron sportsback cars. And Hollywood's biggest night is in the books. Paul Tazewell is the first black man to win an Oscar for Best Costume Design for his work on Wicked. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
You asked for it. 9 new dates added. You won't want to miss. For the Record presents Tarantino Pulp Rock, the immersive live experience that will blow you away. Come kill it with us. Ends April 6th, only at the Cinevita next to SoFi Stadium. Get your tickets now.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers' winning streak is now at 6. Last night's 108-102 win over the Clippers at Crypto.com moved the Lakers into second place in the Western Conference. Oklahoma City is on top in the West, 10 games ahead of the surging Lakers. The Lakers' 18-4 record is the best in the NBA over the past 6 weeks. Luka Doncic led the Lakers last night with 29 points and 9 assists. Rookie forward Dalton Knecht dropped 19 off the bench. The Lakers are back in action Tuesday night against New Orleans. The Clippers are at Phoenix on Tuesday. R&B singer Angie Stone was on her way to perform at the CIAA Men's Basketball Championship game Saturday night in Baltimore. Stone died early Saturday morning in a car crash outside of Montgomery, Alabama. The CIAA is made up of HBCU schools. Virginia State defeated Bluefield State 71-64 to earn the automatic bid to the NCAA Division II tournament. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
There's new reaction following the Trump administration's sweeping efforts to cut the federal workforce.
Fired but not forgotten. The Testimony Project. Bearing witness, breaking silence, building community. KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to amplifying the voices of black federal workers impacted by the mass firings. Rooted in the black tradition of testimony, this initiative ensures that those who served us are not erased from history. Through firsthand accounts, investigative storytelling, and community-driven dialogue, we intend to expose injustice, preserve truth, and demand accountability. If you or someone you know has been forced out of federal employment due to the mass firings, please contact us at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or via the open mic feature on the KBLA 1580 app. We want to hear from you and share your story. KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Live from historic Lamert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad. Before we get started with today's show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The